Good morning, dear students. I hope you all are fit and fine. Welcome to social science class. So we were studying chapter number 3, that is our changing earth. As the name is suggesting, the title that our changing earth. Earth is not just like a statue as said by Mr. Wilson, okay, J. Tujo Wilson, that it is not just a statue, it is a changing constantly, it's a dynamic situations and it is keep on changing. Now, we have seen that from millions of years on the geological time scale, around 200 millions of years ago, the Earth world looked something different like we have seen in continental drift theory. Okay, all the continents are together with the name of Pangea. The present day situation, you will find that there are 7 continents and all are, you can say, at their positions, current positions, which we see in our map. So, but still the continents are moving towards each other and the earth is in continuously motion. Earth, why this all things are happening? Because of some external and internal forces. So when we are talking about external forces, that forces are called as exogenic forces. If we are talking about the internal forces, means in the interiors of the earth, then it will be endogenic forces. Forces like volcanoes, earthquakes. Yes, इसकी वजह से जो लैंड चेंज हो रहा है, जो अर्थ का चेंज हो रहा है मूवमेंट, then it comes under the endogenic. But if we are talking about wind, rivers, yes, आपने देखा होगा rivers cut down the hills, come into the plain, bring a lot of sediments in the form of rocks, pebbles. तो वो जो erosion हो रहा है, कहीं पर जाकर ट्रांसपोर्ट होकर डिपोजिशन हो रहा है, सो ऑल दोज इज लीडिंग टू द चेंज ऑफ द लैंड फॉर्म ऑफ द अर्थ. ओके, हमने कॉन्टिनेंटल ड्रिफ्ट थ्योरी के बारे में पढ़ा था, proposed by Alfred Wegener in 1912. Okay, and then there was a theory of plate tectonics. Last May we come to one conclusion that it was not the continents which are moving, it is the plate which are moving. So plate क्या है? A massive irregular shaped, you can say, rock slab, rock of a solid slab, slab of a solid rock, and it is around, you can say, thousands of kilometers wide and 100 200 kilometers in depth and the thickness. So it moves over the asthenosphere, over the topmost mantle. We know there are 3 layers: crust, mantle, and core. So the crust move over this asthenosphere on the top mantle and results into the current formations, and that is why the earth is changing constantly. Okay, so this was about the last lecture. Today, what we will do? Today we will start with one of the endogenic force, that is called as volcanoes. We will study what are volcanoes, what are different types of volcanoes, distribution of volcanoes. ठीक है, so आज की वीडियो में हम पढ़ेंगे volcanoes क्या होते हैं, कितने टाइप के volcanoes होते हैं, डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ volcanoes कैसा है पूरे वर्ल्ड में, वर्ल्ड मैप के ऊपर, and if time permits we will also go with the earthquake, which is also one of the endogenic force responsible for the changing of the earth. Okay, so let's start.
Volcanoes. Volcanoes can be simply defined as an opening in the Earth's crust through which molten material comes out from the interior of the Earth. This material consists of lava, ash, hot molten rocks, steam, gas, and solid rock particles. The opening of the volcano is called a vent. A conical mountain may be formed around it. Crater of the volcano is a funnel-shaped basin surrounding the vent. On the basis of nature and frequency of eruptions, volcanoes are classified into 3 types.
So yes, first of all, what is volcano? Volcano क्या है? Volcano is basically, it's an opening to the earth crust from which the molten metals come out of the earth, interiors of the earth. The space from which it comes out is known as vent, and I think you all know, हमने ये last chapter में भी किया था, molten material present in the interiors of the earth is called as magma. But once it comes to the surface of the earth, okay, after the eruption of volcanoes, if it comes out of the surface of the earth, then that will be called as lava. Okay, so volcanoes kya hai? Basically it's the eruption of molten materials which consist of steam, gas, dust, molten materials, all this. And the topmost point of the earth, it's a conical shapes, and from where the material comes out, that point is also known as the vent, and the roundabout areas is called as the crater. Okay, crater is basically a funnel shaped hollow at the top of the volcanic core. Okay, so volcano क्या है आपको क्लियर हो गया होगा. Now, on the basis of nature and the frequency of eruption, volcanoes are divided into three types. एक वोल्केनो कितने तौर पर इरप्ट होता है, कितने टाइम टू टाइम इरप्ट होता है, क्या उसकी फ्रीक्वेंसी है, क्या वो हर साल इरप्ट होता है या उसे हजारों साल हो चुके हैं वो इरप्ट ही नहीं हो रहा है. यस, सो ऑन डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ इरप्शंस, कितनी जल्दी वो इरप्ट होता है, कितनी जल्दी वॉल्केनोज molten मटेरियल बाहर निकालते हैं, ऑन दैट बेसिस वी हैव डिवाइडेड द volcanoes into three types. And what are those three types?
Number 1. Active volcanoes. Number 2. Dormant volcanoes. Number 3. Extinct volcanoes.
So, on the basis of frequency of eruptions, ठीक है, you have to be very clear. एक्टिव वॉल्केनो, डॉर्मेंट वॉल्केनोज और एक्सटेंट वॉल्केनोज की हम तभी बात कर सकते हैं जब हमारा बेसिस है द फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ इरप्शन, नेचर एंड फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ इरप्शन. बिकॉज when you go to the higher classes in class 9th, in class 11th, if you opt for geography, you will find that there are another basis also on the basis of molten material. So on the basis of molten materials, the volcanoes is known as acid volcanoes, basic volcanoes, shield volcanoes, caldera volcano on the basis of shape. So there are different kinds of shape of volcanoes. So that is not in your syllabus. In your syllabus is just about frequency of eruption. So when we are talking about frequency of eruptions, आपको पता होना चाहिए we are just talking about three types of volcanoes: active, dormant, and extinct. Now let's see what is active, what is dormant, and what is extinct.
Active volcanoes. Active volcanoes are also termed as living volcanoes. They erupt frequently and hurl out gases, ashes, lava, and rocks. A belt of such active volcanoes are found around the Pacific Ocean and is called the Ring of Fire.
So what is active volcanoes? Active, passive. Active का मतलब क्या होता है? Suppose if I say yes, you are active in class, you are actively participating in class, means you are constantly there in the class, you are getting every knowledge which I am transmitting to you. So active volcanoes are basically those volcanoes which erupt frequently. Frequently means they can erupt every year or they can erupt 2 3 years back. So which takes a very less time between the two eruptions. Okay, so active volcanoes which erupt frequently, and you will find this kinds of volcanoes on the Pacific Ocean under a name called as Ring of Fire. So you see here, when we are talking about Ring of Fire, this is the area of Ring of Fire. थोड़ा सा मुश्किल हो रहा होगा समझने के लिए, जस्ट कीप द फोकस. सो दिस इज नॉर्थ अमेरिका, दिस इज नॉर्थ अमेरिका, दिस इज यू कैन से जापान साइड. ओके, दिस इज पैसिफिक प्लेट और द पैसिफिक ओशन. तो यहाँ पे पैसिफिक ओशन है. सो ऑल द वॉल्केनोज यू विल फाइंड ऑन दिस ring of fire near by this coastline of USA as well as the Japan area. You will see most of the volcanoes still. Volcanoes as well as earthquakes erupt near to this ring of fire. There is a chain of volcanoes. That's why it makes a ring. Okay, it is in the Pacific Ocean. Yes, in between the North America and the Japan coast. Okay, ये चीज आपको clear होनी चाहिए, and that is known as the ring of fire, which have all the active volcanoes.
Some famous active volcanoes are Mount Etna in Italy and Barren Island in the Andaman Sea.
So very important this is. One of the active is Mount Etna in Italy. Okay, ठीक है. If you are not aware of that, don't worry. But this is very important. The second example, Barren Island in the Andaman Sea, India. So in India, we have one active volcano on Barren Island of Andaman and Nicobar Island. And you will be surprised to know that in India we have only one active volcano, and that is Barren Island on Andaman Sea in the Andaman and Nicobar. So it's important you have to remember it. Mount Etna in Italy is the example, and the other is Barren Island. So there could be a question in your half yearly that uh, which of the following is a active volcano? So you have to be very clear with that. Okay.
Sea, India. Dormant volcanoes. Dormant volcanoes are those volcanoes which have not erupted from a long period. They are also termed as sleeping volcanoes. Mount Vesuvius in Italy is a dormant volcano. Dormant volcanoes become destructive when they come to life.
So what is dormant volcanoes? Dormant volcano means the volcanoes which are not erupted for a very long period of time. काफी time से volcano erupt नहीं हुआ है, but that doesn't means कि it will never erupt. There are very high chances कि वो erupt हो सकता है, पर कहने का मतलब है बहुत टाइम से, बहुत पीरियड से वो इरप्ट नहीं हुआ है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल माउंट वेसुवियस इन, यस, इटली. देर इज वन active volcano in Italy, Mount Etna. There is one dormant volcano, Mount Vesuvius. Both are in Italy. Don't be confused. ठीक है? And the last one is extinct volcano. So what is extinct volcano?
Extinct volcanoes. Extinct volcanoes are inactive and therefore called dead volcanoes. Kilimanjaro in Africa and Rainier in USA are examples of extinct volcanoes. Calderas are lakes which are formed from extinct volcanoes. However, volcanoes cannot be addressed as extinct with complete certainty.
So, what is extinct volcanoes? Extinct volcanoes are basically which are inactive, okay, which are not erupted, okay, and we call them as the dead volcanoes. कि ये dead है, okay, and examples of such volcanoes are Kilimanjaro in Africa and Rainier in USA. But you will see that the last line of this para says that, however, volcanoes cannot be addressed as extinct with complete certainty. Means scientists are still figuring out there are there are some possibilities that extinct volcanoes which are dead from thousands of years, there could be chance that they can also erupt, but they have a very less chance, and they are termed as the extinct volcanoes, dead volcanoes. Okay, and the you see the upper vent of the conical shape. Yes, after the eruption, okay, extinct volcano में क्या होता है, after the eruption there is a depression in the conical shape of the volcanoes. After some times, the rainfall pour and fill that conical shape depression with water, resulting into the formation of beautiful lakes. So one of such lakes जो बनती है, that is called as caldera lake. What? Caldera lake.
Distribution of volcanoes. Most of the world's active and dormant volcanoes are located in two distinct belts. A. The Circum-Pacific Belt. It encircles the Pacific Ocean. It is also known as Pacific Ring of Fire. Most of the volcanoes are located in the Andes of South America and the Rockies of North America. B. The Mid-World Mountain Belt. It consists of the extinct and dormant volcanoes that lie along the Mediterranean Sea. The world's most beautiful volcanic mountain, Fujiyama in Japan, is under this belt.
So what we have seen that volcanoes हमने पढ़ा volcanoes क्या होते हैं, different types of volcanoes, and now the distribution. So distribution is into two parts. हमने पहले देखा rings of fire that we have already discussed under the active volcanoes. So the circum-Pacific belt, also known as the ring of fire belt, this belt in which you will find active as well as the uh, most important uh, volcanoes, and it is the ring of fire, and you will find it Andes of South America and Rockies of North America. So Andes of South America and Rockies are the mountain chains like Himalaya hai in India. Andes are there in the South America and Rockies are there in the North America. So उसके बीच का जो है which we have seen that, okay, that comes under the Circum-Pacific belt. Second important one is the mid-world mountain belt. Okay, mid-world basically it consists of the extinct and the dormant. मतलब उसमें ज़्यादा active volcanoes नहीं होते हैं, and it lies near to the Mediterranean Sea. So Mediterranean Sea is in between the Europe and the Africa. So Africa और यूरोप के बीच में जो है that area is the area of mid-world mountain belts, and they are extinct and dormant volcanoes. Okay, I hope it is clear to you what is the distribution of volcanoes. Okay, next topic is about earthquake. We will take that in one separate video.